Talmasan joined us now from our online team to tell us about a really interesting story coming out of stranger danger.
Yeah.
And it appears people just aren't getting the message.
The teenagers don't get the message, yeah, and we talk about it all the time, stranger danger, parents repeat it all the time, but it just seems to go over the heads. And this video just really proves that that's what's happening. And to give you a bit of context, this guy who put up this video, he is a professional prankster, he calls himself. So what he did is he put up an ad on Craigslist asking 3 families if he could use their daughters for a social experiment to prove that they would follow a stranger. Well, they said, no problem, we trust our daughters, you know, they're good girls, they're not going to follow a stranger. Well, they found out that was not the case. So he set up this fake Facebook profile pretending to be a 15-year-old boy. He's 21 in real life, looks nothing like that. And so he contacted those 3 girls through Facebook as Jason, and those girls are 12, 13, and 14 years of age. And so all of them said yes, they would actually meet him. So what he did is he set up these encounters with the girls, and unbeknownst to the girls, their parents were hiding sort of behind the corner trying to see if their daughters will actually show up to these meetings. So the first encounter that we wanted to show you is between him and a 13-year-old girl named Michaela, and her father was there to see it all. Let's have a look.
From Facebook. Do you remember?
Michaela, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
Sorry.
He could have been a rapist. He could have been a pedophile. Why would you do this?
Sorry.
Yeah, you know that. I could have been anyone. Like, you talked to me for the last 4 days. You've been talking to me on Facebook. Do you know that? Like, you shouldn't talk to strangers, especially online. Like, I wasn't even do I look the same as my picture? It could be even worse than that.
You hope lesson learned in that case.
Terrifying for her dad, though, just to see her actually show up to this meeting at a park without him knowing. And the next case that we saw was a 12-year-old girl who actually opened her home's door for a stranger while her dad was supposedly asleep. And here's her dad's reaction to that.
Are you ready? Sleep shield.
Get over here. Get over here. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
How can you do this? You're 12 years old. This guy's 20 years old. You could have been raped and murdered. We already lost your mother. What would I do if anything happened to you? What would I do if anything happened to you?
That poor girl seems scarred for life.
Yeah, and yeah, if she doesn't learn the lesson there, I don't know how else she could. But the last encounter that we have to show you, it was absolutely terrifying. This girl is 14 years old. She actually gets into a parked car with a stranger, and she doesn't know that her parents were actually at the back of the car waiting for her to show up, and she did not seem to be very apologetic for what happened. So let's take a look at that.
Yeah. Hop in. He's in the back. Over here.
Jenna, stop. It's your mother or father. Jenna, look, turn around. Turn around. Turn around. How could you dare go into a stranger's car?
What are you thinking? Just explain.
Give me your phone right now. Give me your phone now.
What would have happened if you came out and it wasn't us sitting back here and there were really crazy people back here?
We never would have saw you again.
We've watched movies together. We've looked at newspaper articles and the news about all these things are real life situations that have happened.
And that's the most terrifying part, that they actually talked about it to this girl, that she knows what to do, she's been taught what to do, and yet she has still done what she has done.
They're invincible and think it can't happen to them.
That's right.
Wow, obviously this guy hopes that this is going to go viral,
And it has, yeah. It has 22 million views on YouTube, and there's so much discussion. Some people are saying it's too drastic, because you could see some of the kids were crying. But he says, you know what, it's a teachable moment, and he hopes that parents can use it to teach or reteach their teenagers about the dangers of strangers. Yeah, he actually calls the parents who agreed to this experiment heroes, because that's quite an emotional experience to go through with your children.
Yes, none of them will ever forget it. But what, I mean, how old did this guy say he was?
15.
Okay, but it's still kind of scary that a 12-year-old is thinking it's okay for her. The 14-year-old you can kind of see happening, but...
Yeah, and it all came down to them talking online. That's how it started. It's Facebook. It's a safe environment. They feel like, you know, the person who's talking to them is actually that person. They don't know who might be hiding behind it. And again, in one of the cases, the girl knew that this was bad, that she's not supposed to do that, and yet she still went through with it.
Well, thank you for sharing, Yulia. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Your top stories are coming up next.